Right, we took over Epic TV Studios in 2012. My vision was to carry on Norwich City Council's vision of a media hub in Norwich, promoting small businesses and creating it into a sort of a media venue. The main reason behind the purchase was television has been in my blood since I can remember, probably since I was 13, when cameras were bigger than cars, and it was in my blood. It was a passionate thing that I've always wanted to do, to have my own TV studio. So we've just had Epic Studios' 4th birthday a few weeks ago. It's been an interesting 4 years. It's been difficult, hard work. Linda and I and the family have put 24 hours in a day sometimes. It's been hugely fun. It really has tweaked my passion back into TV, pushed the family to the limits in every way, and I think we've felt a way along a TV studio, a music venue, a venue open to everything ultimately, and we've changed our original goals, and yes, I'm happy where we are now. The future is now settled, and we have a very bright future. So over the last 4 years, there have been probably too many highlights to name. Some of the fun times, working behind the bar, which I've never done before in my life, trying to serve 700 people. That was an incredible experience, 3 hours of tough work. So I fully appreciate bar staff. So to producing people like Howard Jones and Midure, you know, incredible characters from the 80s. You know, we've had Hawkwind there, and I've been able to produce or edit or camera work, any of these things. You know, when I was young growing up, I'd have given my right eye just to do this. Now I've done it. So there are too many good things that I can think of. You know, just watching amateur boxers grow up to be professional boxers in the 4 years we've been doing it. So everything we've done at Epic has been a proud moment, and we've learnt from, and we've done better the next time. Most of the family have embraced Epic fully. My daughter, who's probably the youngest, doesn't quite get it yet, although she's an artist in her own right. My 2 eldest sons, they certainly are involved as much as Linda and I, whether it's editing, camera work, post-production, or even filming this interview now. We have a huge amount of memorabilia at Epic. This goes from Anglia TV days to the council run days to the current Epic guide. Now that can be drum skins, pictures, behind the scenes sets, or even TV equipment. The reason we're getting rid of it is we absolutely need the space. We have over the last 4 years, we have got tenants occupation up to nearly 100%. So we've run out of space ultimately, and I want to push the business forward as a media hub. So we need the space, and some of the TV equipment is still some of the best you can buy. So this is the ideal opportunity to sell it, pass it on to people who couldn't afford it originally. The simple reason why we are opening up the auction to everyone is the fact that we've run out of space. The media hub idea concept is working so well, we're at 100% occupancy, and we just need the space. And there is incredible memorabilia there, from pictures of Top Gear days, World Rally, powerboat racing, from all the Anglia television days, the council days. We have drum skins signed by Hawkwind, by all the people who have ever played at Epic. You know, it's an interesting place. We need the space. So I was involved with filming specialist cameras on Top Gear from 1993 to 2010. And some of those programs have gone down in history as the greats. And I think the crew, including Jeremy and the boys, and possibly the audience, Botswana is held as one of the best ever Top Gears. It was the most fun to film. It was the most hard work, most demanding in every way. It used my complete skill set, not just as a cameraman, keeping cameras running in the heat and the dust, but as an engineer, whether that was an electronic or mechanical engineer, because myself and the team I was with, we had to keep the cars going, as the African bush mechanic wasn't particularly good at his job. So you'll see the behind the scenes that we were keeping the cars going throughout the day, all the time, and it was immensely fun. So by year 2000, Extreme Video was providing probably 70% of extreme camera work to TV productions in the UK and Europe. We were involved with the World Rally Championship, British Touring Car Championship, Formula 3, European Championships, Class 1 offshore powerboat racing, BT Round the World yacht racing. So we'd built and designed cameras for extreme and harsh environments and had great success with it and travelled the world with great fun. So I was looking for bigger challenges. Television was changing. GoPro was still a few years off, but I could sense it coming. So I looked to another industry, somewhere I could take my skill set to. And the oil industry, which Great Yarmouth is big in the oil industry, seemed a natural progression to put cameras down oil wells. So I started EV Offshore alongside Extreme Video with a similar mindset, i.e. we were able to build robust cameras in extreme environments. So a camera in an oil well is pretty extreme. We have high pressure, high temperature. So it was a natural progression to push Extreme Video's talents further. So we started in 2000 to the point we went on a worldwide expansion in 2010, and EV now is the global leader in downhole video technology. So ever wanting to be up on technology, I've been watching drones for the last 5 or 6 years. I've had a hobby in flying not only model aircraft and model helicopters, but real aircraft, real helicopters. So I've been watching drones and what they're capable of, and there have been many people pop up being professional drone pilots. Where we differentiate ourselves is both Gary, my main pilot, and myself have got 30 years model experience behind us. But not only that, we have that 30 years of extreme camera experience behind us. So we've worked on large sets, small sets. We can fly accurately. So putting those two things together, we can provide top-notch drone footage. Jeremy and I have quite a different relationship to most crew because we go back for so many years. I met him first in '93, and he respects what I do, and he knows that I work hard at what I do. So he gives me gave me, obviously I've worked for 6 years with Top Gear, a hard time, but a relatively easy time. Now James is a different character altogether. He is probably one of the most intelligent people I know. He has a photographic memory, but mechanically is appalling. For example, in Botswana, we were bleeding the brake shoes of Oliver, the Vauxhall Cadet, and James had read the Haynes manual on the Vauxhall, and he could tell us exactly how many pumps of the foot brake we needed to do and how many turns we needed to do for the brake shoe lead in. But give him a spanner and do it, he hadn't got a hope. A bit like Jeremy with his hammer. But then Richard being totally the opposite, gung-ho, didn't read the manual, but got a spanner and a hacksaw and started hacking up everything he could find. May have not been useful, but he was certainly enthusiastic. So you'll see the Top Gear poster, which they all scribbled over, which was we took it to Dunsfold, and you'll see their scribbles on it. They are the team scribbles as much as the guy scribbles. You'll see the centerpiece is Oliver. Now, we made Oliver a submarine. We designed it so we could drive into the river and drive it out again relatively safely. And it would have worked, but Richard was so petrified the first time we did it, because there really was crocodiles around. There was a man with a big gun. You see it on television, but he was really there. And Richard turned the cameras off by accident as he drove in. And we left the car in for 5 minutes while they were filming all the hoo-ha, etc., etc. We retrieved the car, checked the footage, realised that Richard had accidentally turned the cameras off. And so we had to try and get the car going again to reshoot. So we did. We managed to get the car all going. We reshot it for the interior shots. And then we pulled the car out, they did all the pieces to the camera where Jeremy was laughing over the radio, etc., which you see in the show. And then one of Jeremy's pet nicknames was Norfolk for me, or Turnip, or HMS Turnip, because obviously farmer Norfolk, and I've got big hands. And he he left us at the site of Oliver while the whole crew went back to the camp, and he bet that he would never see the car again. And anything to rise to a challenge. We spent 2 hours taking the engine apart, cleaning the distributor, cleaning the fuel lines, and we got it going again. I drove it back to camp, and the shots you see on the footage are me driving it back to camp and Jeremy's amazement that it's turning up, and we kept it going. Botswana has so many stories. I mean, they're all stories from forever, all of them. For example, Vietnam. The big thing at Vietnam, they got it slightly wrong on how much travelling we would do a day. Normally you'd plan in a car to do average 50 to 55 miles a day with all the filming and the stops, etc., etc. With the bikes, they planned 35 miles a day. We actually made 10, so they were incredibly long days. And they are days from 6 in the morning till 8 at night. So as I said, they're long, hard days. So we got to a train which, although we were travelling first class, was probably like 10th class in Britain. And we had a few sleeper carriages which were 4 beds in each. Jeremy decided to take himself off and try and get some sleep in one carriage, and the whole team, including James and Richard, got in one cabin, and we drank all the beer in the train, made a lot of noise, and we purposely kept Jeremy up until he finally came through the door, opened the door about to swear at everyone. Then he realised it was the whole team in there, and he went back to sleep. But we had a hangover for a few days. So again, everyone has a story. There are a few Stigs. I can give you a clue, because obviously I wouldn't really fit into normal Stig's race suit, so maybe there's a lorry driver around somewhere. So over the last 4 years we've tried and been successful at many things, and the local Wrestling, WAW, at the moment have got a potential of a worldwide TV deal, and that will progress into something pretty major for Norwich. For the team, everyone's put effort into it, whether that's the actual wrestlers, the managers of the wrestlers, epic staff. We built that from nothing as a complete team, and it now has potential to be sold to major UK channel, several US channels, and some other European channels. So I'd like to use that model on other things that we've been involved in, like say a new music show like The Tube or the Old Grey Whistle Test. We have plans for that, and the internet is a big thing with TV. It's a new way of getting to youngsters, YouTube. And over the 4 years we've had 1.2 million hits on our videos. We've probably got 1,000 videos up, and those hits are not just from Norwich or the UK, they are from everywhere in the world. And you can suddenly, any performer, boxer or anyone can suddenly reach across to New Zealand, Argentina. We've had views from everywhere, and it's really humbling to see how small the world is and how easy it is to touch these people on the internet now.